But don't worry, we now have TSA VIPR teams patrolling music festivals. John Corbett, who's been on the show a couple times, we're going to try to get him on again tomorrow, points out, and this is from a Steve Watson article, TSA VIPR teams and CBP agents spotted patrolling music festival. And this is a music festival in Detroit. And Corbett asked the agents, why they were there, and they said, well, maybe the Detroit police are a little short-staffed. Yeah, because the city's falling apart. But when he followed up and asked them if they were part of a VIPR team, they perked up a bit. And because he knew, they were surprised to see that a member of the public knew what they were up to. And upon entering the festival, he then spotted and snapped pictures of several uniformed Border Patrol agents. When asked what they were doing, they said they were in 50 miles of the border and they can patrol anywhere they want to, and they can enforce both federal and state laws. Okay, so we have a music festival. It was called the Electronic Music Festival. I think that was the name of it. It doesn't actually say here. It says the Happy-Go-Lucky Electronic Music Festival Goers. Anyway, so you have a music festival with about 10,000 people. Of course, we have to have TSA there and Border Patrol. And you notice how he says, well, it's 50 miles within the border, so we get to go anywhere and do whatever we want. All we need to be is 50 miles within the border. We've seen Alex Jones confront the Border Patrol and was way more than 50 miles in Texas on his way back from South Padre Island with his family. Total disgrace, but they set that up and they want to check you and ask for your papers and where you're going and what you're doing. But then you ask them some questions, and they don't want to answer any. They never want to answer any questions. And this brings me back, over this weekend, I went to a festival. It was over the weekend, about 2,500 people. We didn't have one cop inside the festival. There were 2 sheriff's deputies parked outside, and they stayed there. And you know why? Because everybody who entered the festival signed a little contract, and they took personal responsibility for their actions. You know what personal responsibility is? That means you're responsible for your behavior. You don't need a cop there patrolling around, asking questions, trying to get people arrested. You're responsible. If you get too drunk, it's your fault, okay? If you take some drugs, it's your fault. If you get out of hand and start beating people up, it's your fault. Of course, there's people there to help, and they're called rangers, and they do a very good job at conflict resolution. So that's what we need. We need festivals without police, because we don't need police there inspecting everybody's good time, making sure everybody's doing everything the right way. It's totally ridiculous. I want to go back to John Corbett's blog. It's TSA Out of Our Pants. This is kind of in fact, it was called Detroit's Electronic Music Festival. There it is. And there's a picture of the Border Patrol agent. We can see he's obviously doing a good job gawking at the young girls. Here's the quote. Yes, you can add to the list the following terrorist-rich environment of Detroit's Electronic Music Festival, DEMF, or movement. As an electronic music producer myself, in between sessions of suing and embarrassing the TSA in my day job, I find a little time. I attend a large number of music festivals across the globe each year, so you can imagine my surprise when I was wandering from the festival to my car when I ran into a group of 5 men who looked like police officers, but one of whom was wearing a bulletproof vest with the large letters TSA. Upon closer inspection, all of the men were DHS employees and at least 2 were armed law enforcement officers. Yes, TSA has armed law enforcement officers. But don't confuse these guys with the guys confiscating your toothpaste in all airports, all of which are not actually law enforcement. So there you go. That's what it's like to go into a music festival in America. Pretty soon they're going to be groping you on your way in. Why? Because we've decided we don't need personal responsibility. We're going to put our responsibility for our safety over to a bunch of potbelly pedophiles. That's where we're at.
For more than 6 years, I've talked on the air about creating a social network. PlanetInfoWars.com is in its beta phase. We're just launching it, and I want to invite all of you out there to be in on the ground level. Planet InfoWars is about people coming together, forming activist organizations, getting involved politically, hunting and fishing, gardening, dating. This is a place for people who love freedom to meet and to talk and to write and to post information. And I give you this pledge. We are not going to spy on you and sell your data to the New World Order. PlanetInfoWars.com is free, so people who love freedom can get together, connect with people who are awake and know what we're facing. Be active, organize, take action, go viral, create, contribute, resist, because resistance is victory. You are victory. It's waiting for you to breathe power into it. PlanetInfoWars.com.